Darn it, I made a little intro and I don't know how to play it. That stinks. Let's go and do it this way. Nope. Just description. Come on, there's no like little intro thing. Oh well. That was super cute. And I'm gonna show it when you guys get here. Hey everybody. I need to send the link out. Hey baby. Let me see if I can make you a mod. Let's see. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Add as a moderator. Yay! Curls is my first moderator. Manage blackbirds. I'm gonna go ahead and make you a managing mod, Curls, since you're my first one, if that's cool with you. Hi. Oh man. I need to share out the link to everybody. And turn this on. Ah, there we go. That's much better, huh? Alrighty. Oh, I'm messing with my boobies again. Such a bad girl. But anyway, welcome to TrueCrimeBlonde Presents. I am your host, Mandy Montana. It's the best of both worlds, baby. And I made a little intro. But since I'm in YouTube's, it won't let me play it. So I'm just going to play it on my phone and show y'all. Because it's cute. So let's see. And then I'm going to share it out. I need to share this to the Instagrams. I always forget. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Where's the video, y'all? On. There we go. Shoot, it won't show up right. That stinks. Let me start to rotate it. Rotate. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try it one more time. And then it has my thumbnail on it. I thought that was cute. I'm gonna try and figure out how to add it so I can do like a little intro thingy. But yeah. Let me grab this link and send it out on Instas, and then we good. Sorry, guys. How y'all doing? Aw, you guys are already here. Love you. Hi, Mimi. How you doing, girl? Have you guys, out of curiosity, there are like 3 topics that I'm kind of, well, 2. One is kind of the both. But have you guys heard of what's going on with, hey, Betty? I'm so excited to see you, girl. But yeah, have you guys heard what's going on with Jody Hildebrand and Ruby and also Jessica Kent? Those are the 3 topics for the night. And we're just going to chill and we're going to have a good time. So if y'all have anything you want to talk about, throw it out there and we'll do it. Yep, Mandy Montana, best of both worlds, baby. I just ain't gonna let it bother me anymore. And of course, my kid's been playing. There's crap everywhere because we're moving. So, sorry. I live a real life, not a internet perfect life. And yes, there's my dog. I have 6 of them because I rescue dogs from bad situations. So, oh, and yeah, check out my sunglasses, guys. These are so cool. And you see that right there? That says Quay. That is an Australian brand, so they're actually designer. My gosh, so crazy. A beautiful husband bought those for me. Aw, Betty, I am actually really excited to see you. I was wondering if you ever come here. I've got to find my life. I'm so bad. I'm not doing the best with this. But honestly, I just want to get on here and talk to y'all. Like, I honestly usually have like a show notes planned or whatever, but I just want to get on here and talk to y'all and just cut it up. Okay, great, Betty. Good. Thank you. I would love to talk to you more. And be safe for sure. Nope. Actually, what's funny about that is this is my dog Buster. Come here, Busty. This is my little protector. This is my Puggle Buster. And you know what? You can get back up here if you want. And this is Billy, who has a skin condition, and we are working on it. We have been to the vet, but unfortunately, he has a little skin condition, and he's part cat. Actually, he's Puggle too, but you would never know it. They look nothing alike. Like they're brothers, but they look nothing alike. But they are my little protectors. I swear. Like if you come in, if you come in my room and you try to mess with me, because my husband is so sweet. He gets up in the morning with our daughter. If you do anything, all you hear is them growling, which they're doing at each other right now. But yeah, you'll just hear if you try to come and wake me up. It's hilarious. Boys, if we can't play nicely, we have to play separately. But I also have a dachshund, and then I have 3 Puggle/dachshunds. So y'all can figure out where those came from. And they're the most entitled of all the doggies. But I actually only wanted, these guys are Buster and Bill. Bill's the one that I said was part cat. And my husband went to get him after I lost my little dog Jojo. And he went to get him, and he went downtown, and these people were going to go drinking after they gave him to him. And they had Buster and Bill in a Tupper, not a Tupperware. What am I trying to say? Like, you know, the big Rubbermaids, like they had them in one of those. And my husband just couldn't leave Buster there to be in that hot, Rubbermaid. And yeah, we didn't have extra room for a 6th dog, or like we didn't have the room for that. But at the same time, we had the room in our heart, and we've made room since. Oh, that's a sweet Mimi. Oh, Dachshunds are great. They're so awesome. Yeah, there's a stuffed animal. There are stuffed animals all over here. This is my daughter's playroom. Like this is my streaming area, because I wish I could show you what I'm streaming on. It's actually a dollhouse. But my daughter, like, she got so excited. She was like, "Mom, I want you to stream in my playroom. I want to set it up for you. I want to do this. I want to do this." And it was so sweet. And because I'm not ever going to have my daughter on my channel because of weirdos, um, I let her help me set up this part, because honestly, my stuff is going to change because we're moving pretty soon. So I'm gonna have a whole new setup, and I'll probably be offline for a little bit. But yeah, that's that. But I let her help me, and she was just so excited to be a part of it. It was so sweet. Oh, category 4 hurricanes. I love that. I have one cat. She's an outdoor, and I've had her for 14 years. Her name is Night Fury. And man, the girl's a beast. Like she will come in and just go at you if you are not getting her food fast enough, or petting her, or doing whatever she finds to be the thing that she wants at that moment. I'm inviting everybody. I'm so bad at this. Like, I just go in and invite people. Actually, has anybody heard about this Alexa Nicholas stuff? Like, it's really, really, really awful. Like, I am so shocked and just so beyond what is going on with that. Like, if you guys haven't heard it, I might read the little I'm sorry, the article. Crap, I don't know why I can't speak tonight, but I'll read the article. But it is absolutely insane. Does anybody know who Alexa Nicholas is? Just put a one in the chat if you do. And if that's something, I will definitely talk about it, because that is crazy. And honestly, I was just like, wow, when I found that out. Like it was whew, a lot. Okay, I think I got everybody. Abadabs. Someone heard, but I think she's asleep. Okay. All right. I got everything important and done. And then I copied it so I can share it here. Let's go. I'm gonna put my little intro on my on my story on Instagram with the link if you guys want to look at it. Hey, girly girl. How you doing? Can you guys hear me? I just realized I have my mic turned the wrong way. I'm sorry. By the way, did we figure out if anybody knew Alexa Nicholas? She was on Zoe 101. That's really what I know her from. Okay, perfect. I mean, I'm gonna hold my mic because I just got off the tour bus and it's the best of both worlds, guys. That's why it's so late because I've been touring all day. Like, duh. Got lots to do. Hanging out with Aunt Dolly. Like, it's been great. So great. I wish, dude. I freaking wish. I wish I was hanging out with Aunt Dolly. That would be superb. I love her. I'm sorry, but 9 to 5 still an anthem. Sometimes you just gotta laugh and lean into it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving any of this stuff power, so I'll be Mandy Montana. It's fine with me. Because I'm sorry, but she's hot. True. Sorry, guys. I know I'm taking a long time to get started, but honestly, I just wanted to come on and talk, like, and hang out. Okay, there we go. I think I got my YouTube link right. All right, and share. Okay, I think I had already sent it to you. Oh, hold on one second. Anyway, that was an interesting message, but yeah. So, let's see. Let me get these on you adopt for four kitties, all curled. I don't know if you know, but my friend Kitty has a channel. Her name I think is Petty Kitty on here, and she has a channel. And I wish I could grab it. I should. And it's all her kitties. It's so cute. It's like one of the most drama free channels on the internet. Like, no drama llamas there. Curls. If it's this one, it's like this huge llama thing, and the dogs like sleep on it. It's a whole mess. Let's see. Oh, that's cute, girls. They're so vocal. Aw. Oh yeah, I'll definitely read that. Okay, so well, it's absolutely not an insult to be called Ann Montana, right? Like, I am baffled by that one. I am like I love Miley. Like, my anthem is her entire new album. Like, it's so good. It's so good. So definitely not taking it as an insult. But yeah. And Alexa Nicholas. Let me give you a background. I'll just Okay, I'm gonna get some info on her real quick, just to give you a rundown, just like her IMDb stuff, I guess, because I want everybody to know who we're talking about. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Alexa Nicholas is an American former actress. She was known for her role as Nicole Bristow on the Nickelodeon's television series Zoe 101. She's also appeared in other television series That's Life, Hidden Hills, Revelations, and The Walking Dead. She was married to someone named Mike Milosh. This will be important. Oh, thank you, Chicago. I appreciate that. But she was married to a man named Mike Milosh and another man named Michael Gray. And in her personal life, she's become an activist for a group called Eat Predators. And she's made it out like she was the one running that. And I don't know if anybody reads Crazy Days and Crazy Nights, but that's a lawyer in LA. And what he does is he kind of collects like background info on different celebrities and whatnot. And he found some info on her, and an Instagram account followed me today, and I was really shocked by it. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of those things where I was like, whoa, there's no way, but it seems true. And it's called Survivors of Alexa Nicholas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. She said that her husband groomed her, Mike Milosh. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Like, this is why I do it, because I love y'all. Anyway, but Mike Milosh was her husband. She said that he groomed her from a very young age and that he had done things to her that were not wanted, and that she was trying to take him to court. And then she made a group called Eat Predators. Well, today I get a request from an account that's not super huge yet. They only have 60 followers on Instagram, but it's called Eat Predator Survivors, and it's also called, the name of it is Survivors of Alexa Nicholas. And some of the first things I saw were people talking about how she did not make. Mike Mulish makes music. That might be where you know I'm from, Chicago. I want to say it's like a EDM type music. But there are just so many interesting things here. And one thing that I'd like to point out, Alexa Nicholas went on Sloane's channel, and she said that she had an interaction with Britney Spears on a tour bus while working on Zoe 101. And she said that Britney Spears, that she was summoned to the tour bus thinking that she was going to talk, I guess, to someone else. And Britney like bum rushed her and like sort of fussing at her for bullying her sister, which always kind of sat funny with me because I don't see Britney Spears as that type of person. But maybe, whatever. She was like 11. I don't see like a 20-something-year-old Britney Spears going to an 11-year-old and yelling at them. It's just not something I see, not something that I would think that Britney would ever do. Like, I want to say that she was close to being a mom at that point. So I just don't see her going off on a kid. And that was always hard for me to believe. But, believe victims till they give you a reason not to, right? So then she started talking about her husband and how he had groomed her and how he had basically gotten with her when she was like 15 or 16 online. And then they had a long distance relationship. And I don't think they had anything sex wise until after she was 18, but she was groomed, and then they got married. And I can't remember if they had a kid or if she had a kid with her second husband. I think with her second husband. But yeah, she went on there. She has a 2-hour podcast on Sloane's thing about everything that her husband did to her. So if anybody's interested, you can check that out. But this is what I got today. So we're just going to go from that. She was groomed. Her husband, actually ABUSE'd her. I'm trying to be friendly here, y'all. But yeah, he hurt her. So that's what we'll say. But this was what I saw today. This is from Crazy Days and Nights. Sorry, they posted a lot since I first joined, so I just want to make sure I'm getting the right thing. No, did they take it down? I'm worried it got like struck or something because it's not showing. These are some of the tweets from Alexa Nicholas, by the way. For well over a decade, we have or these are not from Alexa Nicholas. It's from People Against Reyes. For over a decade, we have stood back in fear as Alexa destroyed lives and hurt families, including her own. The irony is, it was her weaponizing, quote unquote, match the source project that brought a few of her friends together to compare experiences. And frankly, we realized it was all part of her agenda. Alexa's own people have reached out and shared nothing that changed. She is still weaponizing true victims as part of a revenge agenda. Seth MacFarlane, he's been tagged in a lot of these because I think they're friends. They've edited pictures of her. I'm trying to find some, I think that the Crazy Days and Nights post got struck. But that's okay. I can go find it on Thing. Actually, it might be here. I might be in the wrong place. Let's see. Please speak up. Yeah, that's where it is. I got the article. Okay. So this is the article from Crazy Days and Nights. The first husband hurt her, but I'm not sure if she's made claims against the second husband. She may have. But she made claims that she had a stalker named Will and that he was coming after her, etc. And this is the article. It's an open letter from Will that was posted to Crazy Days and Nights, which is a lawyer who does celebrity gossip and tea. So a lawyer read this letter and said, seems credible, and he posted it. Crazy Days and Nights did a ton for the Britney movement. Like, they posted a ton of stuff about just what was going on, like the truth of what was going on. They've been struck so many times, it's crazy. But it's a great source. It's one of my favorites. But this is an open letter from Alexa Nicholas's alleged stalker, Will. It says, I was sent this today and I am posting it, but I will leave it up to you to check out the details. To whom it may concern, on January 23rd, Alexa Nicholas, Zoe101, tweeted this, claiming that she had a stalker and she's afraid of her for her life. Over 71,000 people liked this tweet. It gained almost 10,000 reposts and 4.7 million views. On Instagram, her posts describing the alleged stalking have gained thousands of likes as well. I have been informed that I am the alleged stalker, Will. That's the pseudonym she gave me in her recent posts containing false/warped claims. Although she used me as a pseudonym, some of her posts contain text messages that reveal my real name. I want to know it. Ooh, what's bacon tomato? It sounds delicious. Okay, so this is continuing on. My real name is Shift Haley McMurray. There are enough identifying details for people to recognize that her posts were about me. Contact me within a few hours. I've been informed by mutual acquaintances that I'm Will, and that she is telling people that. Sorry, guys, I'm parched. I needed that. But anyway, let's see, where was I? That he's Will. Although the pseudonym she chose for me was apparently derived from a villain of a book that we recently read together in book club. William is also the name of my deceased father, who Alexa and I had talked about several times, and she had seen tattooed on my arm when I was a guest in her house for 5 days. I've never stalked, harassed, or abused Alexa in any way, shape, or form, and I can prove it. The receipts she posted to Instagram do not show any evidence of stalking, obsession, or threats. I'm not a threat to anyone but unapologetic abusers. I'm actually a whistleblower that she is seeking to discredit using horrifying, alarmist defamation, triggering survivors who look at her activist platform for hope and inspiration. Over the past 6 months, she has garnered media attention for her involvement in the protest group Eat Predators. As I said in the beginning, she has put out there that she created Eat Predators. Like, that's the way I understood it, that was her thing, if that makes sense. And it says this short story is that Alexa has fabricated a narrative of false and criminal accusations to attack me for producing an episode hosting two former members of Eat Predators leadership on my podcast, Good Morning Mayberry. They describe her mistreating survivors while co-opting the original activist collective after their Nickelodeon protest generated a lot of press. I also shared my experience feeling exploited by Alexa after making a verbal agreement to work for her under the impression I would be compensated. She never paid me for my labor and ghosted me after I tried to gently discuss my concerns. Like, this guy is so nice. Like, he could have been so much more harsh, but he's like, I gently tried to discuss this with her. Like, it's wild to me. And the fact that this woman has been platformed, and if this is true, like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy if this is true. After I released the podcast, she began her smear campaign. Then someone I don't know launched a website that claims to have evidence of criminal and unethical behavior involving Alexa, dating back many years before I'd even heard of her. I became aware of this website as a source. As a source alerted me to it, and a Twitter account dedicated to exposing Alexa's past behavior, and started tweeting about her regularly for the last week, since her smear campaign began. The Twitter account appears to be run by the same person who set up the website. I've been contacted by other people who have claims that they and people that they know have been harmed by Alexa in similar and bizarre ways, dating back to her youth, and involving behaviors like cybercrime, sex crimes, harassment, enlisting underlings, targeting people's loved ones, manipulating young people, physical stalking and trespassing, filing false police reports, and strategically weaponizing false accusations. Mandy, can we do a live where you can go live and maybe Chicago or B can go on panel and walk me through how to add links as a mod in chat? I know I need to use my laptop. I still don't know how to do it. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'll go ahead. B, do you mind if I add you as a mod too? I can do that. Go ahead and add you to. And sure, we can. One day we'll do. Why don't we just do a private like StreamYard thing or something? I can't access StreamYard unless I use my phone. But yeah, like we can definitely all do that because I don't know how to do it either. So don't feel alone, girls, like at all. I don't know how to do it. So you're 100% good. What are we thinking of this article so far, guys? Like, just it's blowing me out of the water. I love how I put it on subscribers only, and I have less people here than normal, and I don't even give a crap. Like, I'm glad I have less people here because I don't want anybody watching who is just watching to be a total wiener face. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. You could add my Instagram if you want, maybe. If you just ask people to subscribe if they come in, but if they don't, take them out if they're mean, that kind of thing. But I put this one on subscribers only mode. So thank you, Chicago. I appreciate you, girl. But this is wild. This stuff with Alexa Nicholas. Like, if it's true, man. Thank you, Chicago. And her definitely defamatory posts about me, I saw comments calling for doxing, arrest, and general lynching of the person she's weaponizing her fan base, her Instagram following of about 5,000 to mobilize after. I've also seen many survivors who actually have been stalked, harassed, and deceived, who are triggered and to be protective of her. As a survivor, this alarms and saddens me. People may be attuned to her posts because it's Stalking Awareness Month. Many of the people who have interacted with her are afraid to speak out about their experiences. As a whistleblower, I've been subjected to Alexa's warped wrath, and I can say why. She's put me in quite a dangerous position, especially as a queer person of color. She's a white woman. Alexa Nicholas is a white woman. All to avoid addressing any of our grievances or attempting to privately resolve what she thought we had forgotten, or attempting to privately resolve what she thought were relatively typical problems. And this shows, hang on, let me pop my ring light over here. I want to see. Can you guys see that? Alexa eats predators, missed call. That's his proof because the name of the channel that I was talking about where she's been featured heavily is Sloan. So if you want to leak him, you're welcome to. But you're welcome to leak Dustin. You're welcome to link what guys. Like, I'm totally fine with it. Link yourselves. Like, if you guys, are trying to grow your Instagrams or anything, feel free. Oh, the lawyer, Crazy Days and Nights. That's his it's a website. And I think it's just I'm on it. It's www.crazydaysandnights.net. If you'll link that would be great, girls. Or be whoever. Also, on January 27th, 5 days after posting I was stalking her, I missed the call and have been advised not to engage directly with her for the time being, as I no longer feel safe communicating with her. This is wild. I'm going to leave that right there because I'm going to have to show some more. Oh no, lost place. That's okay though. Here is her tweet. I'm just going to pop it up here on the screen for a second if you guys can see. I'll read it though. It says, Alexa Nicholas, survivors aren't going anywhere. These archaic tactics will no longer silence. Bring.it.on.music.industry. I am a mother now, and I will stand strong for my child's future and that of others, always and forever. #EatPredators. And someone below it said, you have an army ready to fight with you. And I just have to say this about that. If you're using a movement like Me Too, any of that, like anything where you're a victim, if you're using that for monetary, physical, any kind of gain, you're sick. Like, there is something truly wrong with you, because while I believe victims, but I also don't think it is okay to ruin men's life. I don't think that women should just be able to do that. I think that there should be some kind of test done and whatnot. And I'm not saying that to be any kind of apologist. I'm sure this is going to be twisted in 5 million different ways. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But I do. Like, we're seeing Amber Heard. We're seeing so many. I mean, look at what happened to Marilyn Manson. Like, literally one of his accusers came out and said, I lied. I lied because I was coerced into lying by Evan and Rachel Wood. Like, it's not okay. And there's been a total shift. And the stuff going on with Danny Masterson is crazy. I mean, and there's a murder case being dredged up about Ashton Kutcher as well. Like, there's a lot this week, guys. Like, a ton. I got to get on my research. Like, I've taken a couple days off just to, heal my energy and get back into my bad bitch status. But thank you, B. I really appreciate you linking everyone. But yeah, I had to take a couple days to get back to myself, and here I am. But I am going to be doing a long form content video on Ruby Frank, Jody Hildebrandt. They may be separate because Jody's is so massive, and so is Ruby's. So I think they may be separate docs because it's just insane. I'm going to try to edit them and get them pre-recorded. If I can't, I'll go live with the information, obviously. But yeah, it is nutty what is going on in this world. Like, there's so much. There's apologists for rapists, and there's this going on with Alexa. There's just so much. And it's just been a really big press week, if that makes sense. And I hate to say that about things like Ruby. And I want to talk about that situation and the Turpins. Have you guys ever heard of the Turpin case? I'm going to get through this article and then we'll move on to that. An increasing amount of verified profiles and niche public figures are believing Alexa is in distress and showing support on her posts. On January 30th, she retweeted and supported a tweet from Sochil Martin, who recently appeared in the HBO documentary Unveiled about her experience being actually abused in a religious cult, saying, "And you have an army ready to fight with you. Hashtag bring it." My social media accounts have been inundated with anonymous profiles defending Alexa, many of whom seem unwell and unclear on reality and confused, but rational people trying to make sense of what is happening, and it has put me in fear for my safety. I'm reaching out to the media in hopes of clearing my name and to hopefully protect myself. Please let me know if there's any further information you need to make a thorough assessment. I can connect you to survivors who may talk on or off the record and support your work sorting this shit show out. So that's all of the article on her. There's tons more on this Instagram account. If you want to link that, they are. Go ahead and link them. If anybody wants to know any more about this, it is. Sorry. Survivors of Alexa Nicholas. I'm going to type it in chat. She's spelling her last name. Nicholas. Okay. If you'd like to put the proper link, B, you're more than welcome. I have no idea how. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out, but I'm one-handed typing. So I didn't even put ID. I put IO. That's supposed to be ID. It's Survivors of Alexa Nicholas. But yeah, they have a lot of great information on there about this. I'm going to be looking into it further because I've actually kind of been there behind a lot of this and watched her on Sloan. And he's been supporting her for almost 2 years now. And I believed a lot of what she said. And to wake up this morning to that account following me, I was just like, wow, this is really insane and really crazy to think that she could be lying about something so sensitive. But moving on to Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt. Do you guys see the similarities in this case, in the Turpin case? I'm not sure if the Turpins were Mormon, but I know they were super religious. And I remember Jordan was the oldest girl, and she escaped through a window, a door. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've covered it, but she escaped and she ran and she called for an old cell phone. And then in this case, it's so pitiful because we've seen these children, and that's why I am so against putting my daughter on this platform. There are sick people in this world, and like I'm afraid to even put a picture of my daughter on my YouTube because of how sick people are. And it's just like, I'm not going to subject her to that. She wants to YouTube. She wants to be a kid's YouTuber. Like, she really wants to do that. But I'd love for her to. I would love for her to be the next little, Ryan's World. I don't care. Like, she watches some girl named Cookie who paints her nails and plays with her little dolls. And it's adorable that, we got to protect our kids. And with Ruby, she didn't protect those kids at all. She was awful. She would make them apologize to her and they would say sorry. And I don't know, those of you who are mothers, like when your child walks up to you and they say sorry in that way, where it's like, it's not their fault. And you can tell it's just like their visceral reaction. They're just sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like, that always makes me self-reflect when my daughter does that. I'm like, why are you sorry? Do I make you feel like you need to say you're sorry? Like, it's so sick. And the fact that Ruby would be like, one example, her youngest daughter didn't want to go to a movie. So she went and got her, like, she was just like, yeah, I want to go to a movie. And what movie is it, Mom? And she was like, I can't believe that you would do that. I cannot believe that you would say that. If somebody asked me if I wanted to go to a movie, I would be so excited and I would just get my shoes on and I would go. You know what? I'm going to call the babysitter. And she's like this. Hey, could you come babysit tonight? Because, my daughter's just being such a pain. She is so ungrateful. She has such an ungrateful heart. And we're going to the movies. Oh, you can? Oh, that really sucks. And her daughter is on her leg the entire time, bawling her eyes out because she said she didn't want to go to a movie without knowing what it was. That's a normal question for a child. It's normal. And then Ruby sets the camera and makes the little girl come to her and give her a hug and tell her that she was ungrateful and that she's so sorry. And it's like, that little girl doesn't know what ungrateful is. She doesn't understand that. You don't understand that at, 5, 6, 7. You don't get that. And this little girl is the same one that was in kindergarten supposed to be responsible for making her lunch. Like, come on, my kid. Sure, if she was responsible for making her food, God knows what would happen to her because she wouldn't eat anything, nothing. I can barely get her to eat now. I've been going to the doctor and it's she's in a snacking phase. All she wants to do is eat snacks constantly. It's I make her dinner and she eats 3 bites and it's just ugh. And it's she's gaining and everything's good and she eats constantly, but it can be it can be stressful, especially if you have some sort of schedule where you make dinner and you do those things. The one meal that we're all we're all going to be here, we're going to do this, yada yada yada. That's a dinner. We all sit down and eat dinner together. But lunch, that's really here nor there because I don't really eat lunch a lot, and my husband doesn't either. And breakfast, usually he and her have, piece of toast, cheese toast, eggs, piece of bacon, something like that. You know what I mean? And I sleep until about 10 because I stay up late doing work. So, yeah, it's just crazy to me that anybody could think that 5-year-old could could make their own lunch. That's crazy. And I was watching Do You Know Them and they were talking about this. And Jessie Smiles was talking about her son and how he's special needs. I think he's autistic. And she was just saying, Ruby, you vile bitch. You're so lucky that you did not have a child with these needs. And they're lucky that they didn't have these needs because you're a witch. And she's right. She's so right. I can't imagine. Kids are so innocent. And the things that she did to them was just so bad. Taking Chad's bed for 9 months because he played pranks on his brother. What do you do with your siblings? You play pranks, right? I don't get that part. You play pranks. That's what you do. So she took his bed away. They sent him to Anastasia. And that's when all that stuff was coming out about Paris Hilton and her campaign about the troubled teen industry. And, Bad Baby had come out and talked about it and all these things. And they still sent him to the Anastasia desert to live for 6 or 7 months with nothing but 32 pairs of underwear. Literally, that's what they say in the video that they're sending with him. It's sick. And anyway, the youngest boy, I'm going to try to leave names out. I know I said Chad, but I do believe he's an adult. Shari is also an adult. She is collecting evidence for this. And I want to highlight this. CPS has been called on Ruby Frankie over and over and over and over by her sisters, by her daughter, by other people, by concerned people on the internet. And how is it that it takes her son escaping a window with duct tape on his arms and his legs and rope lacerations for them to give a crap? That to me is wild. It is absolutely wild. I've seen so many people, including myself, investigated for false claims. What in the world? How in the world is it okay that Ruby Frankie was just living it up, abusing the crap out of her kids, and it was okay? B, you are awesome with this. Like, you are seriously awesome. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Curls. It had a bad history. Yep, Boop. You're right. Like, what Paris went through was so bad. And, I feel bad for Bad Baby. I don't care if she was like a rough and rowdy teen. Nobody deserves abuse in response to being a normal kid, teenager, anything. Yeah, I can't either. This has been dropped over and over and over by CPS, and I hope that we get an answer for it. I hope we get an answer for why it was okay for her to abuse her children on video and for them to see it and for them to do nothing. Nothing. And then after 8 passengers, there was Connections. With Connections came the kicking out of Kevin. Kevin is the husband, Ruby is the wife. Kevin was completely kicked out. I'm not sure if he's been a part of his children's lives. I don't know if he is. Yeah, it took forever for Daddy 05 too. Is it because they have money? Like that's how I feel. Is it because they have money? Is it because they have status? Is it because they have a platform? Like, because that's sick. But then came Connections, where Jody Hildebrandt was. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video. It's on Mormon Stories podcast. It is featuring a woman named, or I'm sorry, she is gender neutral and she goes by they, them. Her name is Jessie Hildebrandt. She is Jody's niece. She was forced to sleep outside on her balcony in a Walmart sleeping bag in inches of snow. She was forced to run sprints at night because she wanted to tire her out. She was told constantly that any shame that she felt internally, that was sin. That was sin trying to leave her body, but because she was so sinful and so terrible, it wouldn't. And she believed it. And her story is so powerful. I do recommend every one of you, if you have time, it's 3 hours, but it is so powerful. She is so well spoken, so healed from this. I know she's not completely healed, but she's so eloquent and so smart about how she told this story. And it was just so heartbreaking. And it's like Ruby has been doing this for a very, very long time. Jessie, I think she said that she was almost 30. So 15 years ago, she was doing this. She lost her license in 2012. I'm going to dig up all these documents when I do my video on Jody, but this is just kind of a prequel. And I just, what she did to Jessie broke my heart. Like, it really literally like made me cry when I was watching the podcast. Like, there were literal parts where I was just like bawling my eyes out because I couldn't. Yeah, that would be great. It's the Mormon Stories podcast. I'm sorry, B, but I would love it if you would grab it. Her name is Jessie Hildebrandt, by the way. That it should be the one of the top podcasts that's on there. Like in the last few days, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 days old. But what she did to her niece was so terrible. And then it's like she lost her license in 2012. And I will say this. I believe that Ruby and Kevin were using mental and not physical. I don't think that they were physical. I think they were using mental and like emotional and like just manipulative like abuse on their children for a very long time. And I think that's what we saw through their videos. I don't know that there was physical. There could have been, but I don't know that. Thank you so much, B. I really appreciate that. But when Jody entered the picture, everything changed. I mean, it was almost instantaneously Ruby kicked Kevin out. And I'm not saying Kevin's great. I don't know about him. I know nothing about him. He sent Chad to Anastasia the same way that Ruby did. So he could be an awful person. Who knows? But I do feel that her kicking him out was very symbolic. Like it's almost like she traded him for Jody. And there was some really weird dynamics between them. Jessie talks about that, about how Jody had some weird internalized homophobia, or maybe she had for thoughts, whatever. But her and Ruby were very weird in that way. I'm gonna grab a drink if you guys will give me 1 second. Yes, Jody was the shift for the kids being physically abused. I agree. But I will say, as someone who has been abused, mental and emotional can sometimes be so much worse, because I have been in those situations and thought, please just slap me. Please slap me so I can get out of this. You know what I mean? But I'll be right back. Fuzzy Bugs, want to be a co-host, buddy? Want to get on my lap and be a co-host? Huh? Fuzzy Bugs, want to be that co-host? Want to get up there? Demi, go stop whining. Demi, get stop whining. Oh, look at that tail. Look at that tail go. Oh, come here, my boys. You get up here. You come here. And you get on this side. No. No, no, no. Hey, there's love for everybody. There's love for all of us. You don't have to growl at each other. Brothers, what do you do? But, hey, Past, it's good to see you. But anyway, let's see. She's away, let's party. I love you, B. That's great. Yeah, and back to what Carl said, I do believe that Jody was the shift for the abuse. I truly do. You can get down, buddy, if you want. Yeah, you can get down. It's okay. Get on your llama. Sit on your llama, buddy. You can stay. Good boy, Buster. Mandy, I agree. I watched several videos about the passenger. Mandy, I agree. I watched several vids of 8 passengers, and they talked about holding food, phone taken for 8 months, etc., over very minor things. Those kids are probably walking on eggshells. Yeah, they were walking on eggshells from birth. Like, truly, have you heard of, like, blanket time? I'm going to look up exactly what that means so I'm not misinforming anybody, because I want to be very clear, but this is something that Ruby and her sisters have both participated in, and they're fine with it. It's a Mormon thing, I believe, but it's called blanket time. Blanket time starts as soon as your baby can hold his head up and manipulate a toy in his hands. This can be as early as 4 months of age. Start with 5 to 10 minute increments once a day and stretch the time by a level tolerated by your baby. You basically put your baby on a blanket and you tell them, don't move, and you give them negative reinforcement if they move off the blanket. And they start them at 4 months. Like, what? What? Like, babies are such a blessing. It's just so sad. It's sad to see people, like, just taken in by these religions and just brainwashed. It is. It's just so sad and so messed up. But anyway, back to Jody. I believe that Jody came in and that was the catalyst for the physical abuse. I think that it was something. You can get down, bud. There you go. But I do believe that it was something where Jody slowly did it, if that makes sense. I believe she slowly did this with Ruby. I believe that she got in Ruby's head. There are clips of her and Ruby talking, and Ruby's like, I'm a terrible person. I'm such a sinner. I'm full of sin. I'm full of shame, and I'm full of this, and I'm full of that. And Jody's sitting there, and she's like, yeah, you are. You're a terrible person, Ruby. You're just awful. You're such a bad Christian. You're such a bad mother. You're such a bad this. You're such a bad that. And I believe that Jody and Kevin were having problems in their relationship, and they went to the church and asked them for a recommendation for a counselor. And it has been made known by her niece that the Mormon church has used Jody Hildebrandt as a person that, the counselor for marriages for years. And there's so many stories of how she's broken up marriages. Kevin being kicked out. But yeah, they're all horrible. I don't think Kevin is any better, but I do believe he may be a soft place to land for the kids, because I think that Kevin went through some stuff too. I truly do. I don't think that he's seen his children since he was kicked out over a year ago. And I don't believe that's right. While I don't believe he may have done all the right things as a parent, I also feel like he was heavily. I think Ruby carried his, nuts in her purse. Like, I hate to say that, but I really do. I think that she had him by the balls, and she was driving the car. You know what I mean? And that doesn't excuse it in any way or make it okay that he did anything or participated in anything. But I do think the Mormon religion plays a big part in this, and I think that Ruby had a lot of control. And I think that when Ruby and Kevin went to Jody, she saw that she could finally have the one thing that she wanted because she's rich. That's been proven. She's rich. Like, these ladies could get out on bail. That's why they're giving them no bail. But also, they're not giving them bail due to the severity of the injuries on the children. And just wait till we get to what Ruby's excuse was in court, because it is. But anyway, I think that Kevin, I think he's trying to be a good dad. I think he sees some of the wrong that he's done. I don't think that he has, become not a Mormon. I don't believe that he has changed a lot of his viewpoints, but he could be a soft place to land for the kids. And there's also Shari. She's of age, and I believe Chad's of age. And while they're young, they may be able to help. You know what I mean? But right now, from what I understand, the kids are still in the foster system, which is awful. Completely. Like, they have aunts and uncles and all kinds of things. I don't know why there was no family placement. It makes absolute zero sense to me. Like, unless they needed to keep them where they were so they could do more testing on them. But like, I have no idea why they're in the foster system, like, aside from like a family placement, because whether or not I like them, I do believe her sister Bonnie is a good woman. I think that she tries, at least. I agree, Mandy. It still sickens me that no one protected those kids, meaning Kevin, on this point. Yeah, you're right. He didn't protect them. And why didn't he go to a custody court and say, "Hey, I'm the dad. Like, she kicked me out. She's living with this woman. Like, I need custody." Why didn't he do that? I mean, there's so many questions. And so finally, this all culminated in the youngest boy. I'm not going to say his name. I'm trying not to. I know all their names, but I really don't want to use them. He snuck out of a window in Jody's house, and he ran to a neighbor. And the 911 call is heartbreaking. The man that he found was so kind. And he was like, "I have a boy here. He wanted food and water." And he's talking about what happened. And he's like, he's got cuts on him. He's got duct tape on him. He won't tell us why the duct tape's there, and blah, 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 blah. And it goes on. And the man is talking to him, and he asks him a question. And the little boy goes, "It's my fault. It's all my fault. It's my fault." And he starts blaming himself. And in that moment, man, it absolutely broke me. Like, I bawled like a baby. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, it broke me that child truly believed that he deserved to be tied up, and God knows what else. Like, that's what we know. We know he was tied up. We know that he was tied up for long periods of time because he had rope lacerations. But my God, like, can you imagine being your child, not you, your child? Can you imagine brainwashing your child to the point where they actually believe that it is their fault they're being physically abused? Like, Ruby, you're sick. And Jody, you're even sicker. And Kevin, like, prove me wrong. Please, please, Kevin, prove me wrong, please. I really want you to. I want you to be a good father. I want them to have a soft place to land, and I don't want them to be scared. But you do have a sketchy past, sir. Carl says, "My conspiracy is that they didn't want the church and others to know they were separated. Ruby likes to put the facade of the perfect family." I believe that too, but she also didn't do a lot to hide it. So Carl says, "The trauma, I can't imagine those trauma for those sweet, innocent children." Yes, 100% Carl's. And It's come out how terrible the lacerations were, and that there was a young female also found in the same condition. So there were two children who were being physically abused, and we don't know about the other two. We don't know what condition they were in. But Ruby and Jody made their beautiful appearance in court to get bond. Ruby's excuse for this is that the boy who escaped has been essaying his brothers and sisters because he started watching P.O. Corn in when he was 3. And that he has been menacing and essaying people in the neighborhood, etc., etc., etc. And that she deserves bond because she was just trying to protect her kids and to protect him and just be a great mother and do right by the Lord. Like, give me a break, girl. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord. I was literally fussing at my husband about this earlier. Like, I hit my knees every night. Whether I have what I need or whether I need something more, like, I hit my knees every night. And that's not something I'm bringing to this channel. I know a lot of people believe a lot of different things, but I do believe in a higher power. And the fact that Jody and Ruby did that is so, 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 so sick to me. Like, it's just, why? Why? Like, you're in court. You could have just said, I've made some bad decisions. You could have said millions of things. But instead, you say that your child essayed other children. And that resulted in him not being able to be placed in a foster home with other kids. That means that all those kids are being separated and sent to different foster homes. So they don't even have each other to lean on. They don't have their brother or sister to lean on and say, man, that was crazy, right? Like, can you believe mom did that? Can you believe that we've been through all this? They're all going to different places. Like, it's sick. It's sad. And I am so happy that they denied Ruby bail because she doesn't deserve bail. Period. She doesn't. Like, you deserve everything they're going to do to you in a women's prison, girl. Like, that's all I can say. You and Ruby both, they're going to take care of you in the prison system. Like, I ain't worried about that. That's a fact. They're going to take care of you because there is just, like, I heard this the other day on something. I can't remember what it was. And it was like, there are 3, I think it might have been Jessie Smiles. I think she might have been talking about one of her friends. And she was like, there are 3 rules in prison. Don't say bitch, don't snitch, and don't hurt women and children. 100% true. So y'all gonna get what you deserve. But to me, it has just been a whirlwind because I never truly believed Ruby Frankie would physically abuse her children. Like, I because she's so manipulative. It's so obvious. And like, I never guessed that she would physically abuse those kids. She needs to be physically restrained and not be able to leave and have 5 mothers who will never see their children again because of crimes they have committed. Let them take care of her. That's what she deserves. She deserves mothers who didn't abuse their children, but may have been, a party to something they shouldn't have been, and they're locked up. That's what she deserves. And she'll get that. They're going to find her. I mean, she's too high profile. And I am not behind putting these people in protective custody. I'm just not. I don't care. Like, I think that if you hurt a child, if you take a child's innocence, they're never the same. Ever. Ever. Whether it's SA, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's mental manipulation, whether it's mind games. You're taking their childhood and you're taking something so innocent and you are just tearing it up. And it's sick to me. It's very, very, very sick to me. Yeah, solitary confinement. Yeah, they should definitely be in seg. By the way, B, I'm going to send you something on Instagram. You don't have to post it if you don't want to, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to because I can't put a banner or anything. Um, and this is also nothing that anybody has to ever donate to, but I do usually put my Cash App in, so I'm gonna send that to you if you don't mind, B. And if you don't mind to post it, I just stick it in there because honestly, like, why not? I see PayPal's all the time, and but no one feel like you need to tip anything like that. I don't feel that way. I just put it on there just in case. Like, I always put it on. I'd like to put it in because I like for later if people come in and watch, if they want to tip, that's totally fine. But if you're here for the conversation, like, I don't really feel like you have to tip or you have to do anything because I feel like you're doing enough by being here and communicating. You're so spot on with this, and it never goes away. Thank you, B. I appreciate that. I really do. As a mother, it's sick to me what she did to these kids. It's just it's sick. It's sick, and the mental is to me worse. Like, I was mentally abused as a child. I was physically abused as a child. Like, my mom watches sometimes, so I'm not going to go into serious detail. But my dad was, spoiled. What is it? Spare the rod and spoil the child. My dad was very much that person, and we had spanked with belts that left welts. And I remember I was 15 years old, and I was being snot. Like, my mom is a really good woman. She never physically abused me. She never manipulated me. She always told me it wasn't my fault. Those kind of things. My mom is a great person. But I remember being in a therapist's office when I was 15, and I told her that my father had slapped me across the face to the floor. And she told me CPS wouldn't care. Like, that is the type of thing that makes kids go completely internal and feel like they will never, ever, ever be worthy or be worth anything. Because if Child Protective Services won't even care that I'm being hurt, like, the one place that you think, oh, let me call them and I'll get help. Like, they won't even care. Who will? And it breaks my heart for these kids because they have been in that situation. They have been told that CPS isn't going to save you. No one is, and that's sick. It's sick. It's sadistic, and it it's wrong. And while I can say, like, my dad wasn't terrible, he was physically abusive, but he wasn't, emotionally, like, anything like that. He was of a different time period, and that's all he knew, and I accept that. But that therapist was wrong for that. Like, she completely messed me up. Like, I truly believe no one would ever care that that happened to me, and I never said another word. And there were things that happened to me in my childhood that I never spoke up on that I probably would have had I went in and spoke to someone about that, or had a therapist who said, hey, what happened? Are you okay? Do you feel all right? Like, talk to me. But instead, it's like, oh no, they wouldn't care. This is awful. Oh, thank you, Curls. Thank you. Childhood Mandy appreciates that. My inner child's doing a lot of healing, honestly, and I'm doing that through my daughter every day. Like, every day that I am able to give her a good day, a happy day, a smile, whatever it is, it heals my inner child. Betty Boop, I'm sorry, Mandy, and I understand your pain. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate that. Emotional and mental harm takes longer to heal from and sometimes takes years and years. Yeah, it does. And, people develop differently because of it. My sister has BPD and she has delusions of grandeur and she believes her delusions. I'm writing a book about my life experience. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Oh, God. They're reliving it, but it's for me. Girl, I am too. I've started so many times and I get choked up and I end up setting it to the side and trying to do something else. Like, one day I'm actually going to go on wildflowers stream podcast, whatever, and I'm going to talk about what my life was like and what my addiction was like and etc. Because though, some of the things that happened in my childhood are what led to my addiction. And one day I'm gonna go on there and talk about it. But I wrote like this list for her, and I looked at it and I sent it to her, and it was like literally like 40 or 50 notes long, like just like, this happened when I was 5, this happened when I was 8, this happened when I was 9, and it just blew me away, all the traumatic experiences that are like touch points for me, like that I can go back to. Like, I forget what they call it. Oh, what is it called? A core memory. It's like I have a lot of core memories. Like, my dad is a real jerk sometimes, and he used to think that he could sing. He could. He sounded like Elvis Presley. Like he did. He really did. He could sing wonderfully. And I was blessed with a good voice, and I could sing. And I remember my mom, like we got this karaoke thing through the TV, like through, Spectrum or whatever. And what it was you could turn the TV on, it would play the background music, and it would show the lyrics on the screen. And the song was Creedence Clearwater Revival, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And my mom was singing. And my dad went off on her because she couldn't carry a tune. And like, that is such a core memory to me, because I remember watching my mother's face fall, and like all the fun just falling out of her. My dad's not this way anymore. He's worked a lot on himself. Like he's way better. But there are things that I wish that I could go back and give my mom a hug for, like as an adult, because at the time I was too little to understand how. But God, like I don't know what makes people act that way, and that's one reason I'm compassionate and kind, and I don't make fun of people, because I've seen the wreckage that can do to your family. And I've had that done to me by my family. My sister is so much like my father. She does the same things, like little things just bother the crap out of them. And to me, it's insanity. It's like, I don't care if you have toys all over your floor. You know what that means? Your kids are happy. That means your kids have toys to play with. I don't care if your kid has 15, princess dresses laying around their bedroom. That means your kid plays princess all the time. Like, I'm not one of those people who believes that a clean house is like cleanliness next to godliness. Like, I don't believe that. I believe a lived-in house is beautiful. You know what I mean? And I have a really hard time with it. Like, I do. Like, I will pick up my living room at the end of the night, and there are nights that I intentionally leave toys just lying around, or like wherever my daughter left them, because it's really cute. And she worked hard on that, so I leave it for her. I don't destruct it and dismantle it in the name of, oh, we got to make it clean. My dad was always about like making the house look child free, I guess. My dad would have probably been happy if we were child free, to be honest. I hate to say that, but he's very selfish with my mom. Very isolated, if that makes sense, in his abuse. Like, he was very isolated. And I don't know. It was just a really hard time. And I'm glad that my dad is over it. And I took care of them for the past 10 years of my life. They just moved out in April of 2021. And I'm moving now to Greenville. So I'm going to be away. This is the first time I've left my mom. And it sucks. I don't want to leave her. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't want to leave my mom. I'm so scared. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And I know my dad wouldn't hurt her physically. But I don't ever want her to feel like she has nowhere to go or nothing. I tell her every day, no matter where I go, no matter what happens, like, you're welcome. You can come. You don't have to have any money. You don't have to have anything. Like, it's not like that. And the other day, we were having hibachi. So I called her and I was like, Mom, we're having dinner. I'm sending David. What would you like from the hibachi place? Like, I didn't give her a choice. I was like, tell me what you want. I'm buying. So I got it for her, and my dad is in the hospital right now. He took it to her, and my mom was so thankful. And my husband sent her a cute little message that was like, like she lives in an apartment complex, and he leaves it on her little balcony. And he left her a little message that was like, your food is here. Have a wonderful night. Don't let your drink get hot, and grab that, and blah blah blah. And I hope you enjoy. And this message will self destruct in 10 seconds. Like, he's so cute with stuff like that. And my dad, like, my mom called my dad and told him how excited she was because nobody does stuff like that for her but me. And he went off, and I ended up getting him a steak and shrimp from Outback that he couldn't even eat because he was throwing up and sick because he was at the hospital. So it was just a mess. Sorry, guys, I'm behind. Let me get back. Okay, it's actually common for people to be far into adulthood and they have kids and their trauma bubbles up. Yep, that's what happened to me. That baby, man, she really brought it out of me. Wow, Betty, I don't know if you can unpack every bit of it. I'm proud of you. Yeah, Betty, I would love to read it. If you ever need an editor or anything, I'm more than happy to look it over. Like, I would be happy to help. Just let me know. Are you going to publish it? Yeah, I would love to read it. Like, are you going to publish it? Like, that would be great. My sister is my champion. Oh, that's so sweet. So blessed to have her because we witnessed things that have almost destroyed her. That's so sad, Betty. I'm sorry. I really wish that my sister and I were close. But unfortunately, mental illness has made it to where we can't be. We're no contact. And that sucks because we have a really traumatic bond. And I grew, she was a journalist, not me. I had my BSc in communications. Like, why do you think I have that? Because I grew up idolizing her. I thought she was the coolest thing. She moved out at 18. She never came back. Like, she traveled the world. Like, I just thought she was so cool. And when I was big, she used to call me her uglier, fatter sister. And I would always excuse it and say, oh, it's a joke. And there's just a lot there with my sister. And when I get to writing my book, it's going to be really hard, that part, talking about her. Because I have always loved her and thought so highly of her. And she hates me. It's just that. Unfortunately, delusions of grandeur can make you really sick. And they can make you believe things that are completely untrue. Betty Boo. Everyone needs love, understanding, and compassion, and most of all, support. You're right, Betty. 100%. There's an app. Maybe it's on a website. My mother-in-law is writing her story. It gives you questions, and then you type an answer, and it saves it. For me, that would be a good way to approach it. Yes, actually, there is an AI writing software thing. It's called. It may not be good for that, but the AI writing software is ChatGPT. And you can type in questions and it'll basically write term papers and stuff like that for you. It's very interesting. It's actually how I've been doing a lot of my research because that's all it does. It pulls from everywhere on the internet, like just different information. It's a very useful tool. But it's part of the writer's strike. So I try not to use it often because I'm a writer and I support the strike. So I try not to use it often because I know that that's why writers are suffering right now, because we're suffering because we've been underpaid for quite a while. And now that there's AI that can do our research, we're wanting to be even more underpaid. And it's like, come on, man, Like, a lot of times when you take a job as a writer, like, at least for me, like for podcasts, etc., like, you will take the job and you will get either a flat rate, like, you'll either get a flat rate, a percentage of ad revenue, or you will get an hourly rate. But the way that the hourly rate works is you're given a time frame that you're supposed to finish it in. So realistically, it's a flat rate. And I've worked for an extremely big creator who just went over $1 million, who paid a good hourly rate, but wanted me to do a story like in 8 hours, and then she sent it back for revisions twice when she was unclear about how to write it. And yeah, it was just a shit show, to be honest with you. I had to ask for my money and more, and I actually believe that creator may have went around and talked about me. Like like, it is crazy to know that people with hundreds of thousands or millions have talk crap on you. You know what I mean? It blows my mind. Like, I'm a nobody, and you're out there just telling people, don't you hire her. She might make you pay extra. Like, because I'm not going to do free work. I'm sorry. Like, the revisions, like, you didn't tell me what to do. Like, I did my job, and then you send it back to me, and you're unhappy with the results. Okay, I'll revise it, but I am billing you for those hours because you set me up hourly. That's the way it's supposed to work. Sorry, guys. It just went down. Betty. I'm a perfectionist, and it stems from fear, if that makes any sense. Yes, it does. I am a perfectionist. I apologize constantly. Like, constantly. And it comes from fear. It comes from that almost like deep-seated shame, like you've done something wrong. And when my daughter starts doing that, which it's a common thing with 7-year-olds, when they get in trouble, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But like, that triggers me so much. And I've had to like reel it in and be like, I didn't do this. She's just going through a phase of saying I'm sorry. And that's that. But like, I don't want her to be like me. I don't want her to be a people pleaser and miserable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not miserable, but like when I was little, I was a people pleaser and I was kind of miserable. So I don't want that for her. Curls, if you need to tell your story in chronological order, that's good too. Yep. Curls, it's awesome. B, I totally understand, Betty. It doesn't make me perfect. I'm too cautious to act. Yep. Yep, B. That one's for me too. B pushed me to start this channel, and guys, I was not ready. I was like, no. I was like, oh, I'll wait another week. Oh, I'll do something this week. And with no intention. I've always had intention, but like, I felt like it was going to be so hard. And I was so worried that I would never find anybody. Like, I didn't think anybody would watch my videos. Like, the fact that I have like 59 subs, that blows my heart up in a way that nobody can understand. Like, I didn't think anybody cared about what I had to say. And it's like, seeing my views, seeing how things do, like, it's so humbling to me. Like, I am a humble person, and I appreciate every single one of you. I don't care. Right now we have 4 people in here. I don't care. Like, I'm happy that we have 4 people in here who are enjoying a conversation. Like, that means the world to me. This is all I've ever wanted. Like, I wanted a podcast for a very long time, but I realized now, like, I actually want community, and that this is the place for me, and I'm not giving power to anybody else. I'm not going to be run off this app. I don't care how many shorts are made about me or whatever. I knew I wasn't supposed to mention this, and I shouldn't. But I don't care who makes anything about me. I'm not giving it power. I'm not watching it anymore. I'm not doing any of that, because only cowards switch things to unlisted or mirrors only in the morning if they're feeling bad or if they know that they did something that could get them struck. So, one or the other. I'm not sure which. Don't really care. But, I can't help it if a trucker and some lot lizards want to talk about me. Soundbite me. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm done. Sorry, guys. I really shouldn't have done that, but whatever. Aw, you're welcome, Daddy. Yeah, anything that you need, hun. Like, seriously, if you need help with, Google, I don't know where you're writing it, but Google Docs is a really, really good asset. Like, that's how I do everything. If you need some help with wording, anything like that, if you want to come to my DMs, my Instagram's linked in here. I'm not sure if we're friends on Instagram, but yeah, I would love to help. I've never heard that, but I know a little bit about AI. Yeah, ChatGPT Girls is really interesting. Like, you should download it and just ask it some questions. It will blow your mind. Like, it'll answer any question that you ask it. Why didn't, oops, I went too far. Why didn't I know this when I was in school? Right? Because they didn't have this stuff when we were in school, B. We had to do it the old fashioned way. And like, I was terrible at math. So I would sell people papers for math papers. Like, I would be like, if you'll do my math homework, I'll write your paper. Because I was just terrible at math. And, anybody who says that you can't succeed, I left high school at 16 to move to Fort Stewart, Georgia, to take care of my sister's daughter when she went to Afghanistan, 2003. I got my GED at 17. I started in community college the first 2 years. And then I transferred to Appalachian State, and that's where I got my Bachelor's of Science in Communication. And you can do anything you put your mind to. It doesn't matter if you dropped out of school. It doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to learn a new skill. It's never too late. So, and honestly, like, I'm just one of those people who learns better just doing, if that makes sense. So, Betty, the best thing I do for myself is a positive in every negative, and humor helps. Yes, it does, girl. You are right. Let's see. Curls. I'm the same with Betty, or at least I try. Betty, interesting. Curls, that's all we can do. Yes, right now. Oh, thank you, Betty. You're a natural at this. Thank you. Like, that's the sweetest thing. Like, I love my community, guys. Like, we're all so supportive, and it's so sweet, and it touches my heart. Curls. Yes, people need to make sure that they are paid. It's shocking how many feel because they are an influencer. Pay very little or not at all. It's large creators make it harder to speak up about it because of fans. You're 100% right. I have several creators I could speak on who didn't pay me, underpaid me, or used me. And they do. They use their fans to attack. So if you tell you're screwed. And for me, this is what's wild. I was unpaid by somebody. I was a researcher. I was unpaid, and I really didn't care. But there was another researcher who did care, and I was her friend. I was willing to offer her a platform. And I found out this creator with over 100K subs, I'm not sure where she is right now, but over 100K in a GoFundMe, made fun of me in DMs behind the scenes. And the one thing that I will say is Dustin jumped all the way up that ass on Twitter. And it was one of the sweetest things that anybody has ever done for me, because he didn't have to do that. But I will say that person is weird as weird gets. Like, very weird. Like, oh, well, I didn't know what she looked like, so I put her face in an AI machine. Like, girl, you could have come up with a way, 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 way better excuse for bullying me and acting like you found a picture of me that obviously wasn't me. Like, you could have made a better excuse for it than, oh, I was looking at an AI thing. Plus, I have all the screenshots back and forth, and I will eventually make a video. There will be a video on my channel about it. And honestly, that was manifested by this person, because they kept telling people that I was going to expose them. So if you're going to keep telling people, I'm going to do it. What do I have to lose? Aw, Betty, that's strength. Thank you. People are never too old to start something new. Right, Curls? They are not. Any business deal in writing always. Yep. Even if it's in 5 minutes of they need from you, Mandy, get it in writing. Yeah, that's one thing that's really, really hard to do. Actually, YouTubers, I've never had a YouTuber make a contract with me, period. I've had them send me a NDA. The only person who I've ever worked for who didn't send me an NDA was Dustin. And I have worked with people who people are like standing and just completely, oh my God, you're so great right now. And gas queening for their coverage of certain trending topics. And their NDA literally said, this covers people who live in California. I'm in North Carolina. So I'm not really sure what she thought she was doing there. And none of these are notarized. So it's kind of like, you ain't got dick. You ain't got nothing. You got dick diddly squat on me. So I'm not worried about it. But you're right, girls. I do need to start getting into writing. I wish I could write up I need to write up a business deal plan so I can like give it out when I get contracts. But I actually have someone really sweet that I'm working with right now, and um, I talked to her about some of my family stuff and why I'm moving, etc. And she understood, and like she's giving me grace and giving me time, and like I cannot explain what it means to me. Like I'm gonna shout her out all over my page once we start getting together. We've done one video together, and I feel bad shouting it out because I don't know if she knows I have a channel or anything like that, and I don't want her to think I'm not doing anything other than like streaming. But I've just got a lot on my mind right now, and it's really hard to get in the zone and like do research and write papers and etc. Like for me, I can do the research and then I can tell it off the cuff, so it's a lot easier. But this person has been so kind and so patient with me. And when I told them about my family, I was so worried because a lot of these creators have it very good and don't know a lot about suffering. And I was so worried that she would message me back and say, well, good luck with that. I need my paper. But she wrote me back and she was like, I totally understand. I've had issues with my family, and just know you're not alone and take your time. Like, we've got until October. Like, we'll figure out something spooky. You take your time, process. You'll be okay. It's okay. Like, you're good. And, like, other than Dustin, no one has ever been so kind to me. And, like, Dustin, last night I was voice noting with him, and he was extremely busy. But he took time out of his day to come in and just tell me that everything would be okay. And it was just so nice. Like, it was just really freaking nice. And I don't know. One day I'll have him on. I can ever StreamYard stuff. And he can tell, he can tell our little story of our friendship. But he's an absolutely amazing man. And, I hope you all slept to him, to be honest, because he really is who he is online. And that is so rare. And I think that we've seen that in this community recently. I think that we have seen that people in this community and others got their masks, and their masks slip, and we see who they are. And with Dustin, that's not him. That's not who he is. He may come off a little, prickish, if you want to say, in some of his videos because he can be a harsh critic in some ways. But as a friend, dude is awesome. He is so sweet. He is so caring. He is so, are you okay? If like I've literally texted him silly things like, oh man, we've got a day till we get paid and we're broke. And he cash ups me $20 and he's like, don't worry about it. You ain't broke now. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, like stuff that you legitimately can't pay back because it is such a gift to your heart. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I feel like I'm not making a lot of sense because I'm all weepy. Okay, Betty, let's see. Any business still in writing? Yep, you're right, girls. Wow. You can do a simple, this is what is agreed upon in price, and email it to them and have them return it with electronic signature, or where they have you answer email agreeing with deal and emailing you back. Girls, I'll actually talk to you about that tomorrow if that makes sense. Or shoot, I'm so worried about making sense. I will email or message with you about that if that's cool, because I would love to type up some kind of business contract. Like, even if it's a simple one, it doesn't matter. Like, it would be a place to start for me. And I also haven't used LinkedIn. I'm terrible at it. Like, I don't know how to use LinkedIn. So I would love to get on there and put my stuff there, because I have a very impressive resume, and the way that I get my jobs is I just email creators I like. So that's 99% of how I've gotten these jobs. Oh, Betty, you're heading to bed. Aw. For sure, Betty. And if you'd like, add me on Instagram. I'd love to talk to you about your book. I would really love that. Thanks, girls. I really appreciate that. Like, that's sweet. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and just decompress and get all the bad juju out of ourselves, shake and just get the bad juju out. Thank you. That would be great. Like, we can talk about wording in the contract, and I might be able to put it together myself if you can kind of, walk me through what some things might need to say, or what it might need in it, if that makes sense. But I just wanted to check on everybody. How are you feeling? We got 2 people in here. I'm about to get off, but I want to check on everybody and see how you're feeling and how things are going, because it's been a rough few days. It has definitely been a rough few days on everybody. And I hate that for this community, because we've all come so far. And one person just takes one spoiled apple to ruin the bunch, right? But yeah. How you feeling, Curls? You doing good? Oh, that would be great, Curls. That would be wonderful. Oh, your AirPod died and your phone needs charged. Well, I'm about to get off, but I was asking how everyone is. How are you, B? And other person that's in here, how are you? Like, I just want to check on everybody and just do a check-in. Mandy Montana. Hannah, actually, I think I'm 3 years older than Miley, so Miley's Hannah's older sister. Good, V. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Glad to hear that. Like, I'm happy that we're all. I think everybody has been handling themselves so well through all of this, and it's like none of us have been reactionary. None of us have, you know, poked out and just, oh, Chicago, how are you doing, girl? But none of us have, poked back or been reactionary, fallen asleep. Aw, thanks for staying. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I am really proud of our community for not being reactionary, for not, you know, freaking out on people. And I do think that there are some people who could a being told about themselves session. I don't know, but probably isn't going to come from me. But guys, guess what? I have a community tab now. I have a community tab. I'm so excited. I got it today. Like, I got on my computer and I was like, I have a community tab. Finally. Finally. Like, it took me so long, y'all. Oh, guys, I'm tired too. So we can cut this one short. I really enjoyed this. Next time that I come on, I'm going to be doing a premiere for probably my Ruby video. So that'll probably be in a few days. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this, and I'm so glad you all came. Like, thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know how to edit. I'm not gonna lie. I've got the clips, I got the timestamps, I got all the stuff. I just got to figure out how to put it together. Hopefully that works out. But I'm gonna put my research together. I'm gonna riff, and I am probably either gonna do a live on Jessica Kid or I may do a video. I'm thinking a live though, because I just don't. Oh yeah, I got you. I totally knew what you meant. Like, I'm excited about my little community tab. Like, I was so excited when I saw that. Look at Chicago. She's like, where did this go? What are we doing? Abandoned ship. But yeah, I have my community posts. So I'll update you on things. And yeah, I'm super excited. I think I may go live tomorrow night or the next night over Jessica. Actually, tomorrow night I have something to do, but the next day I may go live about Jessica. I haven't looked into everything, but the video that she posted was just wow. Like it to me, it didn't make her look good. Reese is basically begging, like they don't call CPS on her. Like I just don't think it made her look very good. But good night, Chicago, and I think I'm gonna hop off here, guys. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. This was such a chill stream. I really enjoyed it, and I was glad to talk about the Alexa Nicholas stuff because I haven't heard anybody mention it yet, and I wanted to get it out there. Oh, girls, you poor thing. Like you've been doing so much. But I'm not gonna lie, I was so jealous of Jelly Roll. I'm still jealous. I want to meet them so bad. They seem so sweet. I just want to give Bunny a hug. Out of curiosity, Curls, did you go backstage? Did you get to meet them? You know what? I'll ask you that in DMs. All right, guys. Good night. I had a great time on here with you guys, and thank you for coming on such short notice. And I'm glad we were all able to decompress and have a good stream together. Did you get to see Bunny or meet her by chance? I think she is so sweet. Like she seems like such a sweet person. Like I've watched her podcast and her talk about her trauma and whatnot, and it's beautiful. Like she's a really eloquent person. Like she's very smart and eloquent and just seems wonderful. But alrighty, guys, I'm going to bed, so I will get off of here and yeah, expect to see a live on Jessica and a scripted video. Aw, she is. She's gorgeous. She's so gorgeous, and she seems so smart. And they seem so in love, guys. Like that. That to me is the sweetest thing. They seem so in love. But alrighty, yeah, I will be back in a couple days to do a live on Jessica Kent, and then I will be back to do a scripted video on Ruby and Jody. I'm not sure if they'll be separate, but if they are, I will premiere them either 2 days apart or back to back. So I'll let you know, and I'll keep you updated on my new community tab. I'm so excited. All right, guys, you have a good night. Love y'all. Bye. Mandy Montana out.